All right, Nate and Beth coming your way, this time with episode 1 of season 2
Two,
of Friday the 13th,
the
the series
series
by the name of.
Doorway to Hell. And I was kind of right.
So, what were you right about?
It was, we take guesses, and it was.
Sometimes we guess on the other review about what the title of the next one and what it's about,
It's
and
kind
she
of a
guessed.
haunted house.
I can't remember if you
Or
said that or not, or I thought we both said like haunted door or doorknob, but did you mention the haunted
I
house?
might have mentioned a haunted house.
So it turned out to kind of be a haunted house, and do we want to explain? Well, before I let you explain kind of what more deeply about what we mean by that, this is kind of a. It's interesting because the last season of episode 1 wasn't really a cliffhanger, but when we begin this season, episode 1 of season 2, it's kind of a carry
Carry
through,
over. Carry through?
whatever, carry over. It kind of continues the story in a way of
They picked up at the last episode.
with this is yet again another episode with Uncle Lewis being kind of the main bad guy or whatever. And
He's
would
the
you
main bad guy.
like to explain what this deal is with this house and how this house comes into the mix?
From what I understand, Uncle Lewis made such a tribute of loyalty to Satan that he did so many rituals that somehow he opened up the doorways to hell in his house somehow, maybe through mirrors or whatever. But so now this house, every single mirror inside this house,
Which is
which is
Lewis's house.
Lewis's house, is like an entryway to hell. And the only reason they figured this out is because they had a mirror in the Curious Goods shop that Mickey put in the store that could show what was going on in Lewis's house. Or no, that's the mirror that Lewis was laughing at in Curious Goods. He was laughing at him through that mirror.
Lewis likes to laugh.
He
He's
likes
a very
to laugh a lot. And
happy guy.
the mirror cracked, and they were looking through the manifest for the mirror, and Mickey's like, well, it's not going to be in the manifest because I got it from Uncle Lewis's room, which obviously came from his house. So long story short, anything that was once in that house was subject to so much evil that all of the mirrors are like interconnected, kind of like a maze.
Okay.
And then like these bad guys, well, kind of started out with the one bad guy going to the service station to get, $1 worth of gas and fill her up and check the oil, and it turned out to be one of there's a good bad guy and a bad bad guy, and the good bad guy was trying to stay good, but the bad bad guy made him crack open the safe, and the bad bad guy killed the shop owner. So the good bad guy and the bad bad guy had to run off before the cops came to the scene because the good bad guy would be tied to the murder. So they go to the house that's abandoned, and it happened to be Uncle Lewis's house. So that's how they got pulled into the mix. And one of the bad guy gets killed by Uncle Lewis to kind of show that he's, evil. More eviler than the bad guy.
Yeah, and for the record, I'm holding 2 batteries. That means I use batteries to keep track of the kills. Just 2 kills in this, just correct? And one of them was, like you say, the gas station person, and then the what you call good bad guy.
The bad
guy.
Bad
bad guy, right. Whatever happens to the good bad guy, he always becomes the vessel of...
He becomes the vessel of Uncle Lewis. He gets pulled into a mirror.
No, I mean at the very end, or I guess maybe we don't want to go to that point.
Oh, yeah.
He escapes with them, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
they pull him out.
Uncle Lewis is trapped inside the house. The vessel was able to be removed, and Uncle Lewis stayed in the doorway.
Yeah, for some reason, this is kind of a mind wipe episode for me, so that's why I'm kind of letting Beth take the
For some reason.
lead. Yeah, for some reason. Well, we may have watched the first part and then went away and had dinner and then come back and
It was kind
watched
of
the
a
second.
draining episode, so we kind of had to take a break.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not crazy about episodes dealing with Uncle Lewis, and after the last episode dealing with Uncle Lewis, I kind of didn't wasn't thrilled about him being back again. So it, it it didn't. I mean, it wasn't as bad as I was glad that it wasn't a
Rehash.
rehash or best of season one or whatever. But it didn't blow my ass off. Is there any other details you'd like to?
Just the simple fact that every time, well, Mickey and Ryan got pulled into a mirror. I don't know if it was on purpose. No, how did they get pulled in? They were in like a room without any mirrors, and because Uncle Lewis has power over everything inside the house, they opened up a door, and that led them. That it kind of pushed them into hell. But it wasn't the doorway to hell. It was just a door in the house that Uncle Lewis could control, and they ended up in hell. And then, because they were in hell, they could communicate through a mirror that was in the Curious Goods shop, or the fragment was with them outside the house. I don't remember. So they were talking to Jack through the mirror to look at the date. And then his friend
Whatever
Rashid was
happened?
back in it.
Did anything ever happen with the date?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Rashid's like, oh,
Yeah.
there's nothing important about this date. And Jack's like, oh, the hell there isn't. It was the exact day that Uncle Lewis died or disappeared. So there's this lore that 1 year after your death day, you have from midnight till the rising light to get 3 uncorrupt souls to to go to hell, and then you can regain your freedom from Satan's grasp. They made it into this pretty poem, but I can't remember it.
You can't recite it word for word. What kind of reviewer are you? This Beth's
Says the
giving
one
me
who
the
can't remember
remember
the
anything
beginning.
about the episode.
What kind of
Okay.
reviewer are you?
Yeah. There you go.
So
So, is there another aspect of this, like Uncle Lewis was trying to get the devil out into the world, or what
no,
was?
Uncle Lewis,
Well, what was?
like,
There was like a devil creature trying to come through the door. What was
a
that?
creature that he could control.
Oh, it wasn't
from
the devil
Satan. It wasn't
himself.
the devil
Just a
himself.
creature. He was just
Like
gonna.
releasing a kraken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he could have a playmate to help do the devil's work.
Okay.
So that was kind of his deal. If he could get 3 uncorrupt souls to stay in hell, then he can have a playmate and he can regain his eternal life in the realm of the living. So the third person actually being Jack, he did this spell to go inside one of the walk-in mirrors, like, full-length mirrors, because he's kind of too big for the smaller wall mirrors. So while he's walking around through that mirror, Ryan and Mickey were crushing all the other mirrors in the house, distracting Uncle Lewis from pulling out his playmate from hell. And
I'm glad
while
someone was
Uncle
watching.
Lewis,
Well, I mean, I was watching. I just couldn't make sense of this.
while Uncle Lewis was trying to stop the mirrors from breaking, Jack was actually able to close the gates of hell, therefore cutting off his power source from hell, Uncle Lewis's power to hell, and he put like a cross over the door so that could keep the door closed. But the kind of cliffhanger is Rashid is, praying over the mirror in the Curious Goods shop, and Mickey and Ryan were trying to get the good bad guy out of the house, and they get caught in the doorway because Uncle Lewis can't leave the house because he's drawn. It's like his leash is anywhere inside the house, but he can't leave the house itself.
Like
So they
invisible
pull-
fence
Like invisible fencing. So
for
when
animals.
they get to the doorway, the bad guy's like, no, you can't do it, and his arms are up, and then they pull the vessel away from
Oh, that
Lewis,
part
and
was
Lewis
fun.
is still like a ghost going,
Yeah,
no, with
see
his
through.
arms up. See
That part
through.
was fun. I don't want to forget to mention we got the replay going screensaver. I don't want to forget to mention that. But I think we both Beth appreciates the female form as well. I think we
Oh,
both
yeah.
enjoyed Mickey's skin tight bottoms and her. Beth wanted her sweater.
She's wearing this. Well, we'll talk about that later.
Talk about what
Her
later?
outfit.
Oh, you're not done with the okay.
Well, because they didn't know if Jack survived or
Oh, okay. We
not.
want to finish up.
Because they
Okay.
go in
Oh,
back inside the
I was just
house
thinking about
and
her
the
out.
walk-in mirror was broken, so they thought Jack didn't make it out of the realm. And then they go back to Curious Goods, and she's all weepy,
Because they think Jack's dead.
and then he's like out of
Ryan's
the shower or something.
consoling her, and then Jack comes down to in a robe, just having taken a shower, and like, ugh, what took you
Closing
guys?
the gates of hell is pretty hot and sweaty work. What took you guys so
Yeah,
long to
then
return?
Mickey gives him two smooches on the head somewhere. I mean, the head on top of his shoulders, the cheek or whatever,
But yeah.
temple. But now can we talk about her outfit?
Now
So
we
it's
can
like
talk about her
skin tight
outfit.
bottoms, and Beth liked her sweater. It's like this huge neck where it always kind of exposed his shoulder. Darn.
Yeah. So
But
that was kind of an
kind of
80s
a
look.
kind of a fun, 80s, late 80s look from Mickey and Ryan. Even though he's like the first building, is kind of like the least interesting character of the three main characters. Sorry, John.
Kind of from the beginning, honestly. John DeLeMay.
Sometimes he's fun, but not very often.
Maybe he's preparing not to be in more episodes. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but well, I'm just glad we had Beth who understood what was going on.
I was trying to.
Well, I think you probably did a good job recounting this episode.
I
Sorry,
mean, there's so much
folks,
more that I didn't put into it.
but that's okay.
There's a lot in this episode.
We got to give people a reason to watch it on their own, I guess.
That's true. We didn't really say everything. But I would give it a half thumb. It had a lot of fog, and Mickey's outfit was kind of cute.
Mickey's outfit's good. Yeah, I was thinking half thumb, but I'm gonna go like the 7, 8 o'clock thumb because at this point I'm just so sick of Uncle Lewis, especially after the last episode. So if Uncle Lewis hadn't have been in it, it'd be like half thumb. But he was, so it's 1/4 thumb or whatever, or 1/5 or what. It's eight. It's the 7, 8 o'clock thumb.
Okay.
So yeah.
So a little bit more than my last thumb for the
Right.
ending
It's
of season one.
It's more. That was just one tick from zero. Your last
Yeah.
thumb.
So
This
yours is 2 to 3 ticks up.
Well, I guess it's kind of like 2 out of 5, I think, or 2 out of 6. How many things are on there? So it's like 6. You know what? It's just like I said. It's the there go the batteries.
I'm sorry, we got our kills
It
already.
it's the 7 and 8. It's just 7 and 8 thumb positioning. God, our rating thing is confusing, but there you
You're the
go.
one that decided on it.
I think you started talking
episode
thumbs.
Episode 2 of season 2 will be
The Voodoo Mambo, which sounds really fun. It's
Mambo
gonna
number
be
5. Sorry, I had to do it. Little bit of Jessica on my side.
I don't know. Is it gonna be a voodoo doll? I don't know what.
I'm gonna guess a voodoo doll.
Okay.
That makes the most sense as a voodoo doll.
Okay.
Or a shrunken head.
Hopefully, frickin' Uncle Lewis ain't in this episode.
They kind of banned him into his house and without any escapes.
And here's another
So all the
question:
mirrors
is
were
this
broken.
Shahid gonna be like the part
I
of
kind
every?
of like Rashid.
You kind of like Shahid?
Shahid Rashid. Is that Shahid or Rashid?
I don't know, one or the other.
He's like
so you're
this Egyptian guy that's helping out
with
Jack.
the red hat.
Yeah.
It's like,
He's kind of a fun little
Extra?
monotony breaker. He's like
sick of all the 3 characters, so
well, it's like Quincy going to the bar.
Oh, Danny's?
Danny's. So
Yeah.
Rashid's kind of like a Danny. And if these people don't know who Quincy is, then I'm really old.
Quincy M.E. Jack Klugman. Dun,
We talked
dun,
about
dun,
that
dun,
with
dun. You are about to enter the exciting fear
This is still Friday the
sphere
13th.
of forensic medicine. Yeah, I brought that up a couple reviews ago. You mean? Seldom
Yeah.
Silent Never Heard?
No, we talked about Quincy with Dr. Jack the Ripper.
Oh God, we talked
Dr.
about
Jack
it in that
from
review?
season 1, yeah. If not, we're talking about it now. But we're kind of going over our 13-minute limit, so
It's fine.
thanks for listening to me babble about this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed if you ever get the chance to watch it.
Alright everyone, thanks a lot for listening and we'll catch you on the next review.